To create a healthier, more vibrant farm and thriving Valley Global and Maui Superfood Forest is hitting the road. We're learning some regenerative agriculture straight from the masters. And this time we connected with Vincent and Rick to soak up some knowledge of natural fertilizers and fertility inputs. We've received a special package, a very powerful natural fertilizer, to feed our plants back at Maui Superfood Forest.
He was the only local guy talking to me, which was kind of cool.
For good reason.
and so our paths went like this. And then as I started farming, our paths came back together. Him and his brother were Maui Kiawe charcoal. You know, you go longs, you always see it, you know, in the stores, and they were supplying the state with charcoal. I come to find out that, you know, he's doing the charcoal and everything. I said, hey, are you making biochar? You know, and he said, well, you know, when we screen the charcoal, there's a byproduct that I've just been piling up. Well, we tested it, and sure enough, it makes a beautiful biochar, Kiawe biochar. Mountain of it. We started working closer together. In 2010, him and I went to the Big Island to attend Master Cho from South Korea workshop on the Big Island. Spent a week. So you're getting a 5-hour course today. That's going to be kind of consolidated from a week. Just relax, just relax. You don't have to remember everything and all that. The main thing with this is to just do it. This is my wife, Irene. She's the other half, the better half of Kahanu Aina Greens. And we've been in business now for 32 years.
32.
And when she was pregnant with our little girl, she was craving sunflower greens. And I wanted to farm. And I had no land or equipment. So I felt I can't farm. And so she comes home one day with all like 20 bags of them. And I go, what do you keep buying them for? I could grow them. She said, well, why aren't you growing them? Started growing them. We started taking them out to places. We built our business from that. So our daughter that was in the womb said, hey, Dad, I'll show you the way through Mom. I know you want to farm, you know. So we were able to do it on this postage stamp. 9,500 square foot lot, 2,500 is our business. It's really wonderful that she listened to her body, you know, and our little girl, who now has her own business doing pre-loved clothing and stuff. And she's got like 30 plus women that supply her with clothing, and she resells, and it's really a wonderful thing. Keeps it out of the landfill. Just got a county grant for that, by the way, you know, which is cool. That's a little background on us. Rick, you want to chime in on why you're here, you know, who you are?
That's my claim to fame. I'm a backyard gardener. We went to learn from Master Cho for about a week. Wasn't enough. You're gonna get 5 hours. It's not gonna be enough. But you're gonna get enough that the spark might get lit. That these things are easy to make. It's easier to buy, you think, but it's much cheaper to make it yourself. So the idea is, we can sell it to you. You can make it for cheaper yourself, and we want you to learn. We want you to use it. We price our stuff high enough that you want to make it yourself. So learn today, make it yourself. That is where we want you to go. You want to buy from us, that's fine, but I think it's stupid.
I'm hoping that what this will do today is not only inspire me, because I'm already inspired by the fact that you're all here, you know, but that you will catch that spark. You know, Ricky was talking about the spark that makes this seem like, wow, it's a natural step. And just to let you know, I've been at farming now for I turned 40, 33 years, and this practices has got me, you know. And so I've been an organic farmer the whole time, but these practices has really made a lot of sense to me, and I'm really happy to be doing it. Happy to be doing it with my brother here. So what this represents is harvested coconuts that we put through our shredder, and I'll show you the shredder.
Doing this as he talks.
I'll show you the shredder inside. and we ran it through twice. So feel this material. So we're going to use this to make what's called IMO 3. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to mix this with mushroom waste. Now there's a mushroom farm up in Olinda we get the mushroom waste from. So we're going to mix this with the mushroom waste and then indigenous microorganisms. The materials we use for making IMO 3 are basically a cellulose material and a protein material. So we used to use mill run of wheat when it was available here in Hawaii very inexpensively. Now that that company has moved to the mainland, it's instead of $120 a ton, it's $1,000 a ton. So it just priced us out of being able to use it. So what we've done is we've been using materials that we've been finding here on the island. Coffee parchment is one, mushroom waste is another, coconut waste is another. And the main thing is the balance of having enough protein, which feeds the microbes, and the cellulose in order for them to grow on. What this represents is leaf litter that Ricky got from his daughter, and it's under bamboo. The mycelium that we collect is best collected underneath bamboo stand. You know, the bamboo's in the grass family. So the bacterial mycelium found underneath the bamboo is ideal for indigenous microorganism culturing. And we culture that onto rice. So we take that mycelium, put rice that is half cooked on top of it, and in 3 days, it looks like cotton candy on top of the rice. We weigh that, and equal amounts of brown sugar is added to it to stabilize it. IMO 1 is found in the leaf litter of plants. It is the mycelium network that, after so many years of leaves dropping off of the trees and landing on top of the soil and creating a mat of litter, that these mycelium break down that litter, develops. And it's really a neat experience to be able to go into the leaf litter and pick it up with the mycelium in it and smell it, and it smells sweet. That's when you know you have the components of making a really good IMO 2, which is taking that leaf litter and putting it onto half-cooked rice after it's cooled down for 3 days to develop the cotton candy on that rice, which turns it into IMO 2. We use white rice for IMO 1, and basically what we do is we half cook it. And the reason why we half cook it, and basically what I'm saying is, you know, in rice, you stick your finger down into the pot and you only let the water come up halfway of your finger, as opposed to you're cooking it for food, you go up to the first knuckle. You go halfway because you want it half cooked, and that allows more air to go through it. It's not sticky, and you want the air basically when you put the rice in your basket and you put it on your leaf litter. You want air to be able to go through it so anaerobic bacteria doesn't develop. You want it kept aerobic. This is mycelium that we harvested in the leaf litter from Kaho'olawe, from the summit of Kaho'olawe. Yeah, Lua Makika. And it was a trip because we went underneath, A'ali'i went underneath, and it was about that thick of leaf litter, which is probably about 30 years to develop up there. You know, it's so windy and dry and everything. But I went underneath and I asked for permission and brought the leaf litter out, put it in my hand, and smelled it, and it was so sweet. And I showed the biologist that, and he was like blown away, you know, never equating, you know, that it would be sweet, you know. So that's why when, you know, the fat of the land, aloha aina, malama aina, when it's alive, that's what it is. It should be sweet, okay? So we cultured the IMOs, stabilized them with brown sugar. That's what we're going to do here. And then Once it's stable, it lasts for years. And you take a spoon of that, mix it in 5 gallons of water, non-chlorinated water, and you can do soil drenches. If nothing else, you can make this and then do microbial soil drenches around your plants. You know, so it's really cool that there's a lot of different variations here, which you can do. How's it feel underneath?
Just slightly warm.
Okay. Moment of truth.
Another one.
Woo-hoo! Better than the last one. Wow. That's beautiful. These are indigenous microorganisms cultured on rice. Underneath bamboo, if you move the leaf litter behind, you'll see strands, white strands, mycelial strands, you know. And you can just put it in a trash can like this, just make sure it's vented. The bamboo seems to work well because it's bacterial. It's a grass. Yeah, it's not fungal, it's more bacterial. And if you're growing vegetables and stuff, you want more of the bacterial. Bamboo is perfect. That's the way we were taught. Get the bamboo, you know, it's perfect. When the collection of IMO 1 into IMO 2 occurs, if it's anaerobic, if there's not enough airflow through your leaf litter where your rice is sitting on and surrounded by, if there's not enough airflow, or if your rice is overcooked to where it's sticky, probably what's going to happen is you're going to get the rainbow colors of organisms that just are not conducive to your best IMO2. Oh.
You get yellow, toss it out, and start again.
So 1.2 pounds.
1.2 pounds.
So equal amount of sugar to your collection. So it'll make it like a marmalade, and that's stable. You refrigerate it, lasts a long time. I want you to be able to see it. Molasses? No, brown sugar. Yeah, which is basically, you know, the ingredients of molasses. IMO2 is stabilized using brown sugar. And what I mean by stabilized is when you collect the IMO1, and that's the rice, cotton candy growing on the rice on top of your leaf litter, after 3 days you harvest that. When you take that mass and you add brown sugar to it, what it does is it gives you the ability to hold that material. It's like a marmalade when all mixed together, and it smells like a miso. You can refrigerate that material and it will last for years. It just goes dormant, so that when you bring it out, you're able to get the best use of it. We were taught to use brown sugar in stabilizing our IMO2 by Master Cho. Yeah, do not use molasses, right. This is IMO2. So in the basket's IMO1 with the cotton candy. IMO2 is stabilized with brown sugar. You see how nice it comes? Spoonful of that and 5 gallons of water. Just make sure the water isn't chlorinated. We emphasize non-chlorinated water in mixing the amendments, the liquid amendments to the 5 gallons of water being non-chlorinated, because the chlorine will just kill all the beneficial bacteria that's in the amendments. Remember this, fluffy, not stuffy. You want air, okay? You want air. You bring all your leaf litter around the basket. You can put some on top. You know, you just don't want it to get inside. You don't want rubbish to get inside, you know, so just, you can surround the basket with your leaf litter, and that'll help the mycelium be able to grow inside. It usually takes 3 days. You don't even need a cover, just do the screen, and then put a rope, you know, to keep the screen. You're just trying to keep varmints out. You want air transpiration. Put in a nice air transpiration place. And you can see that the air can get in through the bottom. That's really nice.
We left some space.
Yeah.
Purposely.
And cedar, perfect. This is a great collection box. I've stored IMO2 for years in the chill, and it just goes dormant. You know, I take it out and I mix it in a tablespoon in 5 gallons of water, and it comes alive again.
So get ready, guys. We're traveling to more incredible farms like Kahanu Aina Greens, We're going to learn more regenerative practices, build our Maui superfood forests. And these efforts are basically to provide fresh, healing foods to wildfire victims in Maui. And if you guys want to join the journey, head to valleyglobal.org and support us today.